You want to come on here? Or you fine right there. All right.
Okay, and yet another off-the-rip radio show, show number, I don't know, 711, I'm guessing. And I'm here today with Chris and Marissa, and bumped into Marissa the other day. She came on the show with her dad, and she told us a tale about she's going to go kind of like circumvent the planet a few times on this beautiful boat, but since I got here this morning, I guess they cut it down to like, we're going to start with Mexico. We're just going to go that far, right? So on this beautiful vessel, tell me about how you guys got together, and then kind of a little history of yourselves, and then we can go about what you're doing.
So I'm Marissa, and most people in Santa Cruz probably know me by my maiden name, which is Hushaw. I used to do a lot in the community through Second Harvest Food Bank and a lot of things like that. I used to snowboard a lot, and that's how I met Chris, because he grew up at the home mountain that I went to all the time, which is China Peak. So it was kind of love at first sight. We were friends for a while, and then we started dating, and then he taught me how to sail, and I was hooked ever since. So
did he use that, the teaching you how to sail, to get a date with you?
You know, actually, my dad did that. He's like, you should teach my daughter. You should teach my daughter how to sail. And I was like, Dad, oh God, stop! Like, it's so embarrassing. And then he did.
All downhill from there.
It was all downhill from there.
So your dad put the whole thing together.
Kind of.
He should be here. I should be questioning him right now, huh?
It was an arranged marriage from the start.
So you've been together for how long?
Coming up on 10 years.
Really?
Yeah, for a long time.
All right.
Yeah.
But on the boat for about 5, almost. Or
So
4 to 5.
you've been living on this boat here at the harbor?
No.
Or other locations?
We started down in Southern California. So we bought the boat in Oxnard.
Yeah.
And we moved it to Ventura. And then we spent the last 4 years, since 2018, refitting the boat. We bought it as a project. So
was it a, what's that piece of crap? What was
it
was it kind of a little bit derelict when you bought it?
There was just huge things that we had to be assessed.
The previous owner had lived aboard for 30 years and sailed the boat hard. So there was like just...
It had been Hawaii.
Yeah.
It had been
so not very much TLC.
Not very much TLC.
Okay.
And he was an older man. He unfortunately passed away 3 days after we signed the papers.
Okay.
So the boat was just showing her...
She was pretty much original. And she's from 1979.
What kind of boat is it?
It's a Choily 41.
Yep.
It's a 41 foot?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. And
So.
and cabin now. I'm not going to take you down. It's too bit dark down there for the camera. What kind of living quarters do you have down there?
So the boat's it's a heavy displacement cruising boat. So what that means is that she's built really solidly out of fiberglass, and that means also downstairs there's a lot more room because she's a heavy displacement boat. So
She's not a racing boat.
No, but she does move comfortably well. Anyways, most of her weight's below the waterline, so the inside of the boat's relatively large. We have our cabin is right off to your right as soon as you walk down the companionway. We have a nice U-shaped galley on the midship, and then further up we have a big horseshoe settee / hangout area, and then in front of that there's another V-berth. Yeah. So we can comfortably actually have up to at least 6 people on board to stay the night.
Comfortably. We fit like 12 people around our table for dinner one night.
Yeah.
Here?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, not in the harbor, but on the boat. Yeah.
It must have been a bash.
It was
kind of fun, huh?
It was a good time.
So anyways, the boat is made to handle not only us and all of our crap. We have all of our possessions on board, but like...
Well, because you've been living on this is your home.
It's our home. Yeah.
Right?
So, and it all fits away and goes away nicely, and also all of the things you have to carry on board when it comes to having a boat, like the
But
tools.
let me ask you a question. Guys have less shit, right? I mean, it's just, Marissa's like, I can just imagine her. She's got a lot of stuff.
I don't know. I think I might have more stuff than when it comes to the tools on board, or have a giant encroaching, thing on our lifestyle.
Does minimalistic come to mind, or is that...
Sure, you have to, obviously.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a different take on minimalism. We're kind of like minimalist, so like we don't have a whole lot of stuff.
Right.
But for minimalists, we have a lot of stuff.
Marissa, let me ask you this. Is there one thing you want to bring aboard where he's like, no, you ain't coming on board?
A hot tub. Yeah. I've already drawn up plans on how to make it work, and he says no, so I'm just saying.
Well, when you go to Mexico, the water's warm. You don't need a hot tub.
Exactly.
That's what he keeps saying. He's like, when we're there,
right?
the
You're
water's
going off to,
warm.
the warm Pacific.
Exactly.
I know, but still, wouldn't it be cool? Come on, like just.
I just don't know. I mean, I haven't been on here for maybe 10 minutes. I just don't see where you're going to be putting a hot tub.
You're not thinking big enough.
I'm not thinking big enough. Do they have portable ones like these?
They do. Yeah.
There you go.
This is. I've already done the work. I know exactly what I need.
Enough of the hot tub. But you've lived on this. You've lived on here 4 years together.
Yep.
Comfortably.
I
was talking to a friend of mine today. I'm like, hey, what are you doing this out there? I'm interviewing these two guys, this couple living on a boat. He's like, Holy I see that. Have one been thrown overboard yet?
You know, people ask that all the time, and
Right.
here's the thing with boats, where if you're in a relationship, some people will either buy a boat and be like, oh, it's going to be the best thing ever, we're going to have so much fun together, and then they break up, like, immediately.
Right.
Then there's other people who get a boat kind of like us, and then they just kind of stick through whatever life throws their way. And yeah,
A boat,
it's just...
your relationship will basically get to wherever it's going faster on a boat.
Yeah.
So if you're headed towards not being together, you're going to head there quicker, and
Yeah,
if you are headed
right.
towards some sort of symbiotic
Because you're on a
relationship,
small
yeah,
object.
You're forced to talk.
Yeah.
You're forced to do all these things, which for us has worked out. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. And also,
nice.
above all else, to make this boat safe and make this boat go to where it needs to go, we're crew members, so
Right.
we have to get along.
And can you guys both operate the boat?
Yep.
Or simply just you have to do it? No,
No.
you both can.
Marissa's actually a U.S. certified captain from the Coast Guard, so she knows,
Technically,
in fact,
I
a
am
lot
the captain.
other things.
Should I just call what?
I'm just the swab. Yeah, no, 100%. I know how to
Yeah.
fix all the things on board, I think, a little bit
Yeah.
better, but that's
Yeah.
not saying Marissa hasn't done her own fair share of fixing
Yeah.
it.
It's,
So,
it's been a big learning experience for me.
What's the biggest thing you learned?
Patience.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
patience and schedules are not,
Yeah,
not a thing. On the
I've
boat.
gotten really good at fiberglassing, so
Yeah.
if anyone out there needs some fiberglass work done,
Yeah.
I can help you out. I'm pretty good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you taken? Obviously, you're going to take this. You don't know where you're going to end up. But have you taken advice from somebody who's a veteran skipper or
Yeah.
veteran sailor? Who would that be?
All the time. So we have a lot of people we look up to in the sailing industry. Lynn Party is one. She's become a good friend of mine. She's a legendary sailor. She and her husband circumnavigated the world twice on boats that were under 27 feet, correct? 27 feet.
21 and 24 feet.
Yeah. So they were
That were
wooden
handmade
boats,
by them.
no engine, just sails, no hot water,
No
no
electricity.
electricity. Just went for it.
So there's obviously the badasses
Yeah.
like that, but I think in sailing you're gonna meet every single type of person, every type of sailor, I should say. And
Yeah.
I think it's always, in my opinion, to head into a new, relationship or conversation with strangers and take in any information as you,
Yeah.
as
Right,
you please, because
right.
there's always something good to pull out of it.
Right. And
Conversation.
what you don't need to pull out of, you don't take.
Then what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Okay, I'll ask you a question. I'm going to ask you both a question. You ready? Top 5 things that you need to have on board before you leave the harbor are. I want to hear yours and I want to hear his.
Oh man.
Top 5 things before you go past that lighthouse.
5 is a lot.
What
Yeah, 5 is a lot. Wow. Life jackets.
Yeah.
That's a big one. A plan. A plan is a really good one. At least an idea of where you're going.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's
Beer.
2.
Beer.
Beer.
Snacks.
Food.
A full tank of water. Full tank of water.
Diesel.
Yeah.
Do-
See, we work
Yeah.
better together.
Work better together. Do you have a water maker on board?
We do.
do.
Yeah. So you make your own water, right?
We do. We actually just installed it. It was one of the things we wanted to do. Obviously, everyone's working on their boats too.
It's okay.
One of the things we
That's
wanted to
the
do on
harbor.
our boat while we were in the harbor was finish installing our water maker. So we actually finished that up just a couple days ago.
Yeah.
And you have a backup one too that you pump?
We have backups for everything.
Backup.
Now, I do not have a actual physical manual water maker, but
Yeah.
but especially with our cruising, we're not crossing oceans yet.
Right.
So we'll keep into coastal Mexico, and there is not very many places to get water, but we are still in throwing distance of getting it if we need it.
So tomorrow you're leaving here tomorrow, right? You think? Thursday. And where you headed to?
We're gonna spend about a week more in the Monterey Bay,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna go further south, weather depending, to San Simeon, to Mora Bay, and then past that to Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
And then after Santa Barbara, it's kind of a straight shot for us to Newport Harbor. That's where the boat will stay through Christmas. We're gonna come back home for about a week and a half, and then after, come January 1st, that's when we go into Ensenada.
Right. So this has been a dream of you both. So anybody can do that. Everybody that has the will and the patience and the way they can do this.
They can do it. Yeah.
Right?
You just have to understand that it's not going to be all fairy tales like what people show on YouTube. They like to show all of the good things
Right.
about sailing. I mean, that's like anything because it's more attractive, more appealing, right? But there's a lot of hard work that goes into it, and that's something we like to try to show on our YouTube channel and Instagram and
Yeah.
everything else. Is like there's a lot of work that goes into it.
The 2 people I interviewed recently that's on the Avocet radio show with Chris Burdish, who winged for, but then my friend Cyril, who paddled kayak across. They had catastrophes.
Yeah.
Catastrophes. I mean, how Burdish is alive, I don't know. And Cyril, well, they had to rescue him before he came back. But So you gotta be. It's not a bed of roses,
No.
right?
No.
At all, right? Doesn't
It's-
matter if you just even if you're sailing around the Monterey Bay, you gotta be alert the whole
Yeah,
time.
we just experienced that a couple days ago, actually. It was a very mellow day, kind of like this, where there's no wind. And we're like, oh, we're just going to enjoy a nice leisurely sail. And then we saw a little wind line outside. We're like,
Yeah.
oh, let's go catch that wind line. We're not expecting to be hit with like
We just got up to it, and it was
23
immediate
knots.
25 knots. And
Yeah.
we had full sail up, and then the whole boat went over, and it's like, oh, but anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be ready for anything, for
So
sure.
what kind of safety equipment do you have as far as electronics is concerned?
We have an array of things. We have a single sideband radio. We have, obviously, EPIRB, life jackets for everybody.
Yeah.
We have an MMSI beacon that can be tripped. So there's a lot of things on board that can
Starlink.
act
Starlink is
Even
actually
Starlink's
one that
another-
can be considered a
Safety of thing.
because you
Yeah.
have now
Yeah.
satellite, internet anywhere you want to go, which is great. But that aside, we have all the tools we need to be as safe as possible.
Yeah.
But a lot of it comes down to the hard work of preparing, obviously, to do a voyage like that and having multiple redundancy backups for
competent crew
every
as well.
crew.
Are you
Obviously.
inviting people to come with you and some of your legs, or are you just trying to do this by yourselves?
We want to do most of it, I would say, ourselves.
Yeah.
But there's gonna be times where the biggest thing when we have people on or want to have people on board is that it's not so easy to like have an airport be nearby us, and having
Yeah.
the whole
Basically-
scheduling behind that is
Yeah.
a problem.
Since
Right.
our landlord is Mother Nature,
Yeah.
she is.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
And
quite fickle
and she's
sometimes.
the one that rules the whole thing.
Exactly. So we tell people you can pick a time or you can pick a place, but you can't pick both. So
Right.
if someone wants to come visit us in Mexico, that's fine. We'll tell them where we are at a certain time, and they
Yeah.
can meet us there.
Right.
So,
But no,
yeah.
very not opposed to it. I think it'd be really fun to have either
Yeah,
family
we have
or
the
friends
space for it,
aboard.
so.
Yeah.
And lots
So.
of adventure.
How old's this boat?
She's from 1979, so
She's
40
1979.
Yeah.
years old.
She's a beautiful boat. All the woodwork that's in here, it's all teak. It's what kind of wood is it?
Teak, yeah.
Teak,
Teak,
right?
yep.
Yeah.
Teak decking. How is this? Did you redo all the teak decking on it?
All
So yeah, one of the reasons we bought this boat is that the decks were actually replaced by the previous owner. So they used to be teak decks, and now it's just fiberglass and paint on top, which is lovely.
Well,
a
it's
lot
way
work.
less maintenance.
Yeah, but the cockpit still does have teak, which is so nice
Yeah.
because it makes it for us. We love boats like
It's a
this.
nicer feel to sit on
Yeah.
this than it is
Exactly.
fiberglass too.
So it's really nice. But yeah, we did redo
But
pretty
all
much
of the
all
bright
of it.
work we had
Yeah.
redone.
Yeah.
So, and that's
All of the
inside
bright
and out. Yeah.
And can I ask how much the boat was when you bought it?
Yeah.
Approximately.
She was about how
We
much?
bought it
was
for 30,000,
30. Yeah.
and that was a fair price, I would say, for the boat, because when they're in really good shape, they're worth upwards of 100, and that means like completely rebuilt when it comes to wiring. Your engine's in really good shape. Your standing rigging's freshly redone.
All the sails all new.
Sails are we're actually getting the
Except
mainsail.
you need the new skull and crossbones
I know,
looking
I
all
know.
tag ragged up there.
Jolly
That's the
Ranchers.
point. It's
The Jolly
it's
Ranch is not
proper
looking
Jolly
too good.
Rancher.
Our new sail. We have a new main being made right now. But,
Oh, you do?
When we
but
were
our
sailing
jib's
up
brand
the
new.
coast,
Yeah.
someone decided to punch a hole in our
Yeah,
mainsail.
it happens.
So it happens. But luckily, our friends at Precision Sails up north were quick to respond to us and help us get something
Perfect.
made. So
Yeah.
So you don't know. It's going to start Thursday. You just don't know where it's going to end.
Yep. It's
No,
basically
no.
that-
You
that's
could
the
be.
gist.
I could be interviewing you 6 years from now with you have a beard down here,
Totally.
right? As long
Yeah.
as Jim Marissa doesn't get one, you
Yeah.
Yeah,
she starts
exactly.
growing
Oh,
one.
man.
you-
Exactly.
So yeah. So well, I wish you guys
Thanks.
best of luck, and
thank you.
stay in touch. And if you can just say hi to the show once in a while, and let us know how you're doing.
Absolutely.
You know, it'd be great.
100%.
Thanks, guys. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. It's been a pleasure to come down here and talk to you both. And I wish you the best, happy days and good sailing.
Thank
Cheers.
you.